All right, hello, welcome back to the stream, everybody. So, continuing on Gunforged development today. Got a couple of things that I want to do. I have to update the shop once again to consider all of the UI enhancements that I've made. So I'm going to need to probably implement some kind of shop rune inventory that's similar to the other rune inventories that I've made, and then also make like drag and drop and whatnot work. So, or well, maybe not. It might not be that complex actually, but we certainly need drag and drop for the shop for the weapon parts, and that's going to be the focus for the first part of the stream here. And then what I want to do is just explore, maybe we'll do some balancing stuff. I'm curious to see what happens by increasing the rate of gold drops. So I want to do that for sure. And also, yeah, there's just a bunch of random stuff that I'd like to test out this stream. But first, we'll get into the shop update stuff and get that all working with all the new UI goodies. Also, I need to update the gun part unlocks screen to use drag and drop as well. I think this will be relatively simple, but it's still going to take just a little bit of work. So anyway, before we get into that, I'd like to remind everyone that I've got my Udemy courses available for sale, so you can check those out in the description below. Those will teach you how to build a complete game in the Godot engine. Also, this game that I'm working on right now, Gunforged, it has a Steam page and a demo, so you can visit that Steam page to wishlist it and play the demo and let me know what you think. Gunforged is going to be coming out very soon, so if you'd like to support me as I do full-time indie dev, and you want to wait until it comes out so you can purchase that, that would be much appreciated. But yeah, other than that, let's get right into it. Hello, Snup Bill. Thank you so much for the IDR 10,000. Thank you. That's very generous with the message yummers. Classic. Thank you, Snup Bill. I very much appreciate that. So yeah, so let's go right to the shop UI, I suppose. And let me just figure out how this is all working, actually. So I wonder if I can do this. I was thinking about this the other night. If I just go to my dungeon arena here, and I instantiate the shop keep here, like so, and then I go to my dungeon wave manager and I say, do not start wave. What happens if I go into the game now? I wonder if I could just interact with this, and then I have a little test scenario where I don't have to do anything else. I think this ought to work, but we'll have to see. Okay, open shop, and there it goes. Okay, so we've got drag. So that doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So I don't think I'm handling the drag correctly. But let's see. Add gold 1,000. So basically what I want to do is make it take your money when you click and drag over, or when you equip it. So I think that's going to be fine. And then why does he have no runes here? He doesn't have any runes for sale. That's very interesting. Where's your runes, sir? Okay, anyway. Might be some kind of order of operations issue. So that's what we're dealing with now. So I'm going to go into the shop UI. The unfortunate thing here is that this code here is mostly just copy and pasted from the Gunforge UI. So yeah. Anyway, set part options. We're going to get rid of on part button pressed. Let me get my Gunforge UI up so I can look at this. So if I look for set part options, we're just releasing the focus on gun part button pressed down here. We're going to get rid of that. On gun part button entered. This is where we're going to want to show the part tooltip. Or we're going to want to update part comparisons. Right. Do I have that in here? Update part. Upgrade indicators. Okay. Where am I setting the comparison part? Refresh gun preview. Refresh gun previews. I don't think I need this anymore. I'm going to get rid of this refresh gun preview. Gun part, get child release focus. We don't need any of that anymore. I don't know about this selected part index. Get rid of refresh gun previews. Selected button, queue free. Hello, Damien. Saw you online and just wanted to wish you well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Thanks for joining. Thank you, thank you. Get rid of that. Update test data. Set affix options. Okay, so it looks like I can just test this through the editor without having to go into the game. We're going to get rid of the selected part index. I don't even know if this is useful anymore, the selected part index. Is this doing anything? I don't think so. Get rid of that. Wish there was an easy way for me to unify these things, but I don't really think there is. So I have a hovered part index. So I'll probably want to use that. Private int hovered part index. Set it to -1 by default. I'm realizing now that this isn't really necessary either. Yeah, this is not necessary from the Gunforge UI, so I'm going to get rid of all this here. None of that's needed. Okay, this is getting much simpler as time goes on, so that's good. I actually wonder if I can just... Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. So now I need to set that hovered part index. I need to set that when I actually hover. So on gun part button entered, hovered gun part button. Am I using that? Hovered gun part button. Am I using that anywhere? I'm not, so I'm just going to get rid of that. Get rid of this. -1. On gun part button. Secondary pressed. Yep. Secondary pressed. Okay. On inventory slot mouse entered. I think that's fine. Okay, so I need to handle the drag and drop. Gun part, drag data dropped. Equip gun part. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this then. I really hope that this is not... I think this will be fine, actually. Let's see. Rune inventory grid. Am I not? Am I not? Interesting. Okay. Left assembled gun ingot, right assembled. This needs to be right. Okay. And then I think I'll just go ahead and put that in there. So on gun part drag data dropped. Let's go ahead and copy this. Scroll all the way down. There we go. Now the thing is, I'm going to need to check that this can be purchased. Try purchase item. Gun part, shop item, shop resource. So yeah, this is the problem here. So I need to figure out a way of relating whatever was just dragged to the to that gun shop item. But let's see if I can, well, I might be able to do this. Hold on a second. I don't know how this is working. Gun part shop items. So I wonder if I could do var shop item is equal to gun part shop items dot first or default x dot gun part part resource is equal to data dot gun part inventory resource dot gun part resource. This should be the same resource, I think. So when I'm iterating over these gun part shop items here, am I iterating over that ever? Am I iterating over that anywhere? Yeah, here. Gun part shop items. So it's going shop items, part resource. Yeah. So they should be shared by reference. So I should be able to do this. So that will give me the shop item. I'll just say if shop item is equal to null, we'll just return. Otherwise, what we're going to do, we're going to say if try purchase item shop item, then we can go ahead and equip that. So that's going to this try purchase item is going to make sure you have enough gold. It's going to remove the gold from you. And then it's going to go ahead and handle that. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's go ahead and try it out. Hello, AnyKey, welcome back. You don't delete unused code, you comment it out just in case. Yeah. Forget Git. Good morning, Hawk Game Dev. Another day of progress to launch your game. Yes, indeed. Every day is a good day. A little bit of progress at a time. Okay, so let's see if this works. So I have 100 gold, so if I do this, that worked. Okay, now the gun previews are not working. So let's get those gun previews correct. So update comparison part. Comparison part. Update part comparisons. Yeah. Did I not have that? Update part comparisons. Okay, I've got it here. Where is it being called in the Gunforge UI? Like, I really wish I could merge these, but it's one of those situations where the UIs are just different enough where merging them would have to be a whole separate like framework. I'd have to architect a whole separate framework for it. It's just, yeah, it's just easier to do this. Update part comparisons, update part comparisons. Hovered part index, parts graded container. Okay. Now I should see the previews when I hover over everything. And now I can go, ooh, that's a big, that's 18 gold. So boom, boom, takes 18 gold away from me. Now the old parts don't go back to the gun or the forge yet, which is a change that I want to make, but, and then I should be able to still buy these. And those will get added to my runes. So now let me choose, let me try something. Shop keep. Generate inventory. Shop price randomizer, get random affixes. Affix shot item, get affix loot table manager, pick item. So I think what's happening here is that I bet you if I run this, it's order of operations issue. There's probably no affixes in the loot table just yet when I spawn the guy in the test fashion. So that might be why there's no affixes appearing. So let's see, affix shop items. Oh no, this is, oh, it's null. Yeah, all of them are null. So it's picked a bunch of affix loot table manager. So this has not been, this affix loot table has not been initialized at this point. Update biased loot table. Is there a reason why this needs to be deferred? Affix loot table manager, where is this? Oops. Where is my affix loot table manager? Affix loot table manager. View owners. Base level. Why is this deferred? Should I change it? I suppose I can test it. So I'm going to call connect player right here. Update bias loot table. So here, connect player. Is the player really null right here? Let me try it. No, it's fine. So I don't need to defer that call, so I'm not going to do that. And if I go into the test area here, maybe he will have some affixes for me now. Whoops. So let's do this. Affix shop items. It's still null. What the heck, man? Okay, so I guess it's still because the ready method of the affix loot table hasn't been called yet. So I probably need to call this in a deferred manner as well. Callable.from generate inventory.call deferred. Okay, I'm pretty confident that's going to work now, so I'm just going to run it through the editor. Yesterday, you said your next project would have a smaller scope. Have you had any ideas what the theme might be? I've got two ideas. One is the, I've talked about it before, it's going to be a high fantasy multiplayer roguelite co-op game that is like Gunforged and like Brotato in the fact that all the combat will just take place on a single arena or in a single arena. And the idea is to make it like a hyper accelerated RPG progression loop. So basically after every wave you get a level up and then you get skill points that you can put into your skill point tree as you would in like a traditional RPG. There will be multiple classes that can be played, and every wave will also drop loot and whatnot that you can put on your paper doll to change your stats and everything. And so, and of course that would be multiplayer as well as single player. So you could hop in with your friends, you each choose a different class that you want to play, you go in, you fight a bunch of mobs, you fight a bunch of monsters, you keep leveling up and so on and so forth. So that's the one idea. And then the other idea is a single player game. Single player sort of like, you should think in the vein of like a collectible card game like Slay the Spire, where it's turn-based and you collect abilities and cards and everything, but it's not a card game. So it's like a turn-based kind of roguelite strategy game. I don't want to talk about it too specifically because I actually think it's a really good idea, but I just need to prototype it first. So those are my current thoughts. Hello, Nikki Dev. Welcome, welcome. Does hitting the like button cause the stream to be recommended or shown to more people? I am honestly not sure how the YouTube algorithm works at all, but it costs you nothing and it can only help me. So yes, please hit the like button. I'm sure YouTubers wouldn't constantly ask for the like button to be hit if it made no difference. So, but I don't know what the exact effect would be. Hello, Khalil. Can you recommend any free resources to learn Godot, GDScript, and can you tell us how you learned it? So, free resources, GDScript is great. Brackeys also recently started producing Godot courses. I've never actually sat down and watched a Brackeys video, but they obviously have a very good reputation, and it's free, so check those out for sure. And then beyond that, you know, if there's a specific thing that you want to learn in Godot, there are a bunch of YouTube tutorials that are really great from people. And then in terms of how I learned it, I already had programming experience, so learning the programming language GDScript was like, it wasn't that difficult. But in terms of learning Godot and how the engine works and how to build games, that mostly comes from reading the documentation, again, finding tutorials for specific things that you want to accomplish, and then otherwise just working at it and just sticking with it, making a bunch of projects, small projects, participate in game jams. You're really only going to get the experience you're looking for by building games in Godot, and it's going to be a learning curve at first, but if you spend a lot of time with it, you'll get to the top of that curve and you'll be on your way. I love the ideas. Thank you. Good morning, Christopher. Welcome back. Always good to see you. Thanks for the Udemy courses. Thank you, the Pure United. Any more future courses planned? Yes, I have ideas for courses. As I was talking about, if my next game ends up being that multiplayer game that I want to make, I want to, shortly after that, or maybe even during the development of that game, create a Udemy course that covers online multiplayer. And I want to make it like a comprehensive course, like here's how you build a real multiplayer game with Godot. Instead of like a lot of the tutorials that are out there, they just show you like very narrow things, but there's no comprehensive tutorial that shows you like, how do you make the game playable as a single player and multiplayer? How do you join mid-game? What do the menus look like? How do you synchronize the scenes that the players need to be in, especially if you're like changing levels and whatnot? You know, how do you enable players to change their name so that their nameplate appears on other screens? Like, just wrapping all that stuff, and of course best practices about like which properties need to be synchronized over the network and which can be simulated on the client side, and what types of updates should you send, when should you use reliable RPC calls versus the unreliable ones. So anyway, that's a course that I would love to make, but I want to really like sink my teeth into multiplayer with my own project first, take notes while I'm doing that, and then while it's fresh in my mind, create a course for that. You should take a look on Moonstone Island. They have a great card system and turn-based combat. I will do that. Thank you for the recommendation, Emerson. And also welcome back to the stream. I made a college paper on game genre sales on Steam. Man, card games are the top opportunity for revenue as an indie, just for you to consider it. Yeah, I think like these casual roguelite turn-based games that don't have a lot of like, well, don't have any like Twitch reaction where you can just sit and take as much time as you need on a turn. I think that's very popular for a lot of people because it's very convenient, right? You don't have to worry about pausing the game. You don't have to worry about any of that. If you have kids, you can get up and take care of the baby for 15 minutes and then come back and your turn is still ready to go. I think that, yeah, indie turn-based games are like a perfect, like almost a perfect genre. First day purchase, would it be in GDScript or C#? It would probably be in GDScript. Because the unfortunate thing, or the fortunate thing, depending on which side of the issue you're on, is that most people are still really only interested in GDScript. Like my C# course has a much smaller audience than my GDScript courses do. And that's just fine because a lot of people just want to use the built-in language. They don't want to set up all this extra stuff with C#. And so I'll probably just make the course for the larger audience. I'm old, but studying marketing on the side, so it was a statistical class. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that idea, I have to prototype it a lot. I actually have prototyped it a little bit, and I like what I'm seeing so far, but it's kind of a complex game. Like, I need to add quite a bit to it before I can really see if it's going to work. So I've kind of put that on the back burner right now because obviously I have to focus on Gunforged. Okay, so why is this not working? Oh, I'm getting issues here. Left gun. Where is this coming from? That's so annoying. Okay. Affix loot table manager. Count tag instances. Okay, I think I know why connect player was called deferred. So, maybe if I just leave that in place. I have a bunch of like deferred calls and everything that there's a lot of stuff that's really order dependent, and it's getting really unwieldy and brittle in quite a few places. So like I'm too far in development now to like really fix it, but anyway, we'll just call that good because it's working now. Okay, so that's working great. So I don't have enough gold, so I can't do this. It won't let me do that. Maybe I should just disable the drag. I don't know how exactly I would do that though. But I could, when it's dropped, I could emit like a text float. Where is that? Gunforge UI, text float. Just copy this, go to my shop UI here. If try purchase item else. Position is going to be get global mouse position, or I guess I can parts grid container dot get global mouse position. Doesn't really matter, I just need something that can get the global mouse position. And then text is not enough gold. And this is the error color. Parent node equals this, text float z index is fine. Okay. And then also I want to, in my Gunforge UI audio manager, play trade, play select, inventory item, play select inventory item, yeah. So on gun part entered here. Okay, so we're gonna play that little click there and then equip gun part, play equip gun part. And this is gonna do play equip trade, I think. Yeah, or play trade. Just getting all the sound effects in order here. So let's try this again. I must admit that I love GDScript over C#. Yeah, GDScript is pretty good. I like it. Yeah, exactly. The pure united. That's exactly right. How are my homies today? I'm doing well. How are you doing, Ariane? Welcome back to the stream. Okay. So let's go back into the dungeon here. Okay. Can't buy that. Can't buy that. Can't buy that. I have to update like the visuals for this too. I want to like animate these or make these blink or something when you're dragging a gun part and it can be dropped. But that'll be good enough. So that'll be good, and then I can't buy these because not enough gold. Oh, am I not? I need to release the focus as well. Maybe I shouldn't have removed that line that I did. This here. Put that back. And then I'll also go ahead and do that for the shop keep. I shouldn't be removing stuff if I'm not sure that it's useless. Oh, that's an equip gun part. I need for the... on gun part drag data dropped. So I need drag ended, I think. Yeah, I need this. Do I need a dragging part index too? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's get rid of all these things. Oops. Gunforge UI. Dragging part index. Where is this set? On... Yeah, okay. On gun part drag began. I'm not listening to the drag began. Okay. On gun part button drag ended. I need drag ended. Where is it? I'm getting lost. There's too much going on. Here. Drag ended. On gun part button drag ended. Dragging part index. It'll just reset all that as well. Okay. And then I think what I want is on gun part button entered. On gun part button entered. If is dragging return. So I want this is dragging. I'm not going to do that. If dragging part index greater than -1, return. Okay. I can also do this from the UI here. So let's just go ahead and run this. And what I should see is that, well, let me think. Yeah, I want that focus to be released. So where is that happening? The gun forge drag ended. Get rid of that. Interesting. Let me try something. Where's my gun forge UI? Does that remain focused? Maybe I should get rid of the... Well... If I start dragging this, does that remain focused? Oh, it does. Okay, so I think on drag ended. Parts container dot get child gun part inventory button I dot release focus. I guess it doesn't really matter. Oh, this is dragging part index. Release focus. Does that work? There are a lot of things. A lot of things going on here. Okay, that works. Cool. So I'll just borrow this now. On gun part button drag ended. I have to do all of this for the to the gun part unlock screen. I really should find a way to unify this code, but okay. Okay, that's not working for some reason. Did I save the script? I did. On gun part button drag ended. Did I ever set the dragging part index? Oh, maybe I didn't. Drag began. I didn't. Okay, hopefully that will work now. Jeepers. Okay, and when drag ended happens, I think what I want to do is do UI audio manager dot play select inventory item. Play that there. Drag ended, yeah. All right, let's give it one more shot here. I think we're just about done with this shop UI. Then we can move on to more exciting things. Cool. Now the tooltips won't show for some reason. Drag ended, oh, probably with equip gun part. Right, I gotta set the dragging index. Dragging part indexes to negative equals -1. This is such a mess. Okay. Oh no. Did I break something now? Oh, am I allowed to drag things from the shop? That's not good. Am I allowed to drag runes from the shop? Wait, how is that possible? I guess it makes sense, maybe. Oh, I'm not running. Wait a minute. So the Gunforge UI is working fine. The shop UI, is this rune inventory grid? Yeah, I shouldn't be able to drag those, I don't think. I mean, I guess I could support dragging them. Let me think about that. Do I want to support dragging them over? Probably should. Yeah, I probably should support dragging and dropping, but let me think. How am I actually handling that? So drag. Am I listening for the drag at all on the inventory slot mouse entered, assembled rune inventory grid, slot modified, secondary pressed. Right, because I think the inventory grid, it just handles both of those automatically. So on slot drag data dropped. So it emits a signal in both directions. Okay. Okay. I don't think this is going to work. I don't think drag and drop is going to work without some additional work here. All right. The reason is because the assembled gun rune inventory sort of just automatically accepts the runes that are dropped into it. But then I need to handle what's happening over here. But the problem is if I can't purchase it, then it won't get removed. So let me try something. So I can drag this over here, and then if I drag this, see it adds that here, which is correct. but then it also keeps that one there and it doesn't remove any money. So I need a way of sort of like intercepting this drop. So, and the problem is that's at the level of the inventory slot here. So can drop data here. It's almost like I need to it's like I need to register another function within here that can tell, that can just do a quick check to make sure that the drag or the drop can be accepted. And then when it's accepted, it needs to do some things. This may not actually be that difficult. Okay, this may not be that difficult. So let me think. What I'm thinking is, if I did something weird like this, if I did a public delegate public delegate bool can drop delegate, and if I do something like this, private can drop delegate, public void register can drop delegate, this dot can drop delegate equals can drop delegate, and then I can do in here can drop delegate result is equal to can drop delegate question mark dot invoke otherwise true, return can drop delegate result. And so basically this will allow me to register an additional function in here that can be invoked and must return true in order for the can drop data to return true. That might be a little bit messy, but that's fine. Let's see. I probably want... Oh, man, this is not going to work well either. Hello, Turn RP. How are you doing? I'm doing well. Thanks for coming back to the stream. Good to see you. Register can drop delegate. Is this what I want to do? Get drag data, can drop data. Maybe I want to move this up a level. On slot drag data dropped. So maybe I just want to run that here first. Yeah, I might just want to run that at this level instead. So I'm actually going to remove it from here. And I'll just move it up a level. I'll move it up a level here. Public void register can drop delegate. Okay. Then in here, what I can do is I can say var can accept drop is equal to can drop delegate invoke otherwise true. Not can accept drop, then we're just going to return. I don't know. We'll have to see. Invoke. Let's invoke it with the inventory slot. I have no clue if this is going to work, but let's try it. So the shop UI, what I'm going to do is this rune inventory grid. I'm going to do this. Rune inventory grid dot register can drop delegate. Private bool attempt drop rune drop purchase inventory slot. Just return false out of there. And then up here, we'll register that. Okay. Now, if I did everything correctly, what I should see is that I'm just not going to be able to drag and drop runes anymore. Like, it's just not going to make a difference. And then I can add the logic in there for handling the purchase and whatnot. What am I working on? I'm adding drag and drop now to the various screens that I have. And then we'll be doing some more fun stuff later. Why did that work? Oh my gosh. That should not have worked. All right, let's try it. Let's do some debugging. Oh, the can accept dropped. Wait a minute. Oh, shoot. Rune drag data. Right, because I registered it on the wrong thing. I registered it on the wrong thing because the drop is being accepted by these rune grids under here instead of, it's not being handled at the level of the rune inventory grid here. So I'm actually going to do this. I'm just going to register a lambda and just return false so that we don't want the rune inventory grid to accept that. But then for my left assembled gun ingot dot inventory grid dot register can drop delegate attempt rune drop purchase right assembled in dot register can drop delegate attempt rune drop purchase. Okay, so now that should work. I just registered it in the wrong spot. So I'm not going to accept any drag and drops from the gun parts to the shop, and the shop being dragged from the rune shop onto the gun is going to have to be conditional based on whether you have enough money. Okay, so that's not working. That's great. So that's exactly what I expected. So I'm going to show some kind of message here, but let's try this now. Let's try this now. I should still be able to purchase that though and add that to the rune inventory. Yep, okay. So now with all that in place, what I should be able to do is, let's see. What I should be able to do, oh my gosh, this is so complex. Do you ever just want to just delete your entire project and just go live somewhere nice in a cabin at the foot of a mountain and just Sit there all day and do nothing? Oh well. We will trudge on. I'm really, I just really don't like doing UI work. I absolutely despise it. But it has to be done and it has to work well. I remember you were refactoring this other day. Aren't you trying to make everything more central? I forgot what exactly. Yeah, so I did make things vastly improved. It's a lot easier to reason about all the various inventories. The problem is the UIs and their input handling functionality is not unified and centralized. And the reason that it's not is because the way that the shop UI works is just different enough from the way that the Gun Forge UI works, which is just different enough from the way that the gun part unlock screen works, that unifying them is still going to require that I support a lot of different use cases. And so I kind of made the judgment call that, well, it's just easier to copy and paste the bits over that I need and, you know, just tweak it as necessary than to try to come up with a unified system that still needs to support all of this disparate functionality. Whether or not that was a good judgment, I don't know. Probably not, but if I added another, like a fourth screen that had all this drag and drop functionality, I'd probably seriously consider finding a way to unify all of it. But for now, it's just a matter of updating things manually, which is unfortunate, but that's how we go. Hey there, how have you been? I've been good. Thank you, Nepal V. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. That has to be the realest thing ever, yeah. Ugh, don't tell me. I've experienced that myself, yeah. It's fun. Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, I need to register these things. Yeah, okay. So when I go into my attempt rune drop purchase, so I've got the inventory slot, the relevant inventory slot here. I probably also want to send over the rune drag data as well. So I might as well do that too. So let's do this. Rune drag data. Let's put that in the delegate as well. Rune drag data, rune drag data. Okay, and then in here, we need to accept rune drag data, rune drag data. And then here, delegates are so nice though. Highly recommend learning how and when to use them. Very, very nice. My entire job is UI development, yeah. I mean, I was a software engineer too. I was making React apps. So, I mean, admittedly, React is a little bit more fun to build UIs in than Godot's UI system in C#, but React is still can be a lot. How long have you been working on this? Apologies if I've asked before. The game has been in development in some form for like 4 years. That's not 4 years of constant effort. There's like months of gaps in between, but it's been in some kind of process of development for about 4 years now. JSX is okay, yeah. So attempt rune drop purchase. So basically what I have now is I've got the inventory slot, which is being dropped onto in the rune drag data. So I have the rune drag data. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say if rune drag data dot source inventory grid is not equal to rune inventory grid, then we're just going to return false. So we're just going to reject anything that where the source is not the rune inventory grid. So what that's going to prevent is that's going to prevent you from dragging a rune from one gun onto the other. And that's actually a good question. I'm not actually sure if that works. I don't think I ever tested that in the Gunforge UI. It should work, but I'm not sure actually. I'm going to test that real quick. So if I add a slot there, add that, and then add a slot there, that 3 poison stacks and 15%. Yeah, that works. Wow. 2 poison stacks, 1 oil stack. Bullets track. Yeah, that works. Sweet. So yeah, I don't want this to be able to happen on the shop screen. And the reason is because the shop needs to handle whether it's... actually, you know what? Maybe I could support that. I guess there's no reason I can't. I think what I would do is I would just return true out of here and do nothing else. Yeah. I think that's what I do. So if I go to my shop UI here, well, I can't. I have to build out the rest of the features. So I can allow swapping, if like some minimal editing here. So if you wanted to swap the runes around on your guns, I should allow that. I don't think there's a reason not to allow it. So that's where the unified rune inventory comes in, is that those assembled gun ingots, these things have been reworked such that they're unified. The logic that drives them is in a central place now. And so in a bunch of disparate locations, I can allow editing of these UIs, interaction with it, and it just automatically gets reflected in all the places it needs to be reflected. So that's very, very good. I would need to come up with a similar system for the shop inventories and the upgrade inventories, but is streaming your full-time job? No, not exactly. I do these streams for fun mostly. It's nice to chat with the audience. Also, some people like watching the VODs, and it's a good opportunity to advertise my courses and Gunforged and whatnot. Speaking of course, that just popped up underneath. I should make it detect my voice, so whenever I say, hey, buy my Udemy course, it just pops up one of the banners. That'd be fun. Anyway, it's not my full-time job. I'm trying to become a full-time indie game developer. That's what I'm doing right now. I don't have a full-time job. I don't have a part-time job. My income is mostly coming from my Udemy courses right now, but I'm hoping to broaden that income stream by finishing Gunforged and getting it into all of your hands, and then continuing to broaden out the income stream by making more games. So that's my goal. So that's my full-time job right now, basically. Okay, so attempt rune drop purchase. We need to find that shop item. Gun part shop items first or default. X.part resource equals var let's see. Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Rune drag data. I have the source index. Oh, I think I could probably do this. Rune drag data dot source slot index. Okay, shop item. So we're gonna say if try purchase item shop item, then we're gonna return true. Now the question is, yeah, I shouldn't be able to. I probably shouldn't be able to drop it onto. I mean, we'll just have to try this. So let's just do that. Return true. Okay, let's see if this works just at a very basic level. I think there's going to be a problem. Like if I drag a rune onto an existing rune, it's just going to pop it, like poof it. But let's see. So like if I do this, it should purchase here. Oh, it didn't work. Out of index. Oh my gosh, why does that happen? Index was outside the bounds of the array. Shocker, that one. Rune drag data source slot index. Shop item. Oh, I'm referencing the wrong thing. Affix shop items is what I need. Yeah, okay. I was referencing the wrong array. I got your course. Not sure if I'll use Godot, but if I ever do, definitely start with your course. Thank you, Nepal V. I very much appreciate that. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, Defective. Welcome back to the stream. Or Defective. Defected. How's that for an early morning insult? Apologies. Good morning. Bam, that worked. Okay, it didn't clear that though. Why didn't it clear that? Still accurate. No. No. Oh, this is just wrong. Oh, how long has this been wrong for? If I do try purchase item, oh, if shop item is gun part item. Right, okay, never mind. Else if shop item is, where's my rune inventory grid? I don't think I have any sort of inventory backing the shop here. So I think what I should do is... let's see. I basically need to do this. Rune drag data dot source slot index. I think that's what I need to do. Where's my error? Why is it so hard to see errors? I got a bunch of red on the gutter over here, the scroll bar. Where's the error? Oh. Try purchase item. Affix shop items. Doesn't that affix shop item need to be removed as well? I'm never changing that array. Maybe I don't need to? Okay. This is very confusing. Anyway, try purchase item. Else if shop item is gun or affix shop item. Affix shop item. Item list dot remove. Affix shop item. Very easy, just item list to array items. Okay, that should do it. So I'm just updating that underlying data as well. All right, let's see if that works. What are you working on at the moment? Getting drag and drop working in the shop UI, and then I'll have to move on to getting drag and drop working in the gun part unlocks UI as well. But yeah, just basically getting all the changes that have been made to the UI up to date in all the other UIs where you should expect to be able to drag and drop. Okay. Okay, so I can't drag there. I can do this. That doesn't cost me anything. Problem now is if I do this, that's just going to remove that. But that might have gone to my rune inventory, my player rune inventory. So I don't know whether I should allow that or if I should just like disallow that. Also, the tooltips are no longer working here. Why are the tooltips not working? Oh. Affix shop item on inventory slot mouse entered. Oh. I guess I don't want to remove that from the array. I think what I probably want to do is just set it to null. Maybe I'll just get rid of this. Well, no, I probably shouldn't. Var index is equal to... Is there... Oh, there's no way to find an index, is there? Affix shop items dot find. Find index. It exists on list. So find index of affix shop item. Index of affix shop item. There we go. Affix shop items index equals null. Is that right? Oh my gosh, I don't know. Let's see if that works. Maybe I shouldn't be changing the size of the array. This is a mess. Ugh, this is a mess. I watched a video from a web development YouTuber who suggests getting into game development because it involves a lot of problem solving. Do you agree with that? I do, yeah. I do allow it. Or I do allow it. I was reading the next message. I do agree. Yeah, game development has a lot of interesting problems that you're probably not going to encounter in your average web development work. And so I think it's a great way of... I think it's a great way to work on problem-solving skills and also get exposure to all kinds of different ways of thinking and algorithms and whatnot. So yeah, definitely true in my opinion. So all that works. So now I need to show like a not enough gold if I have not enough gold. So that's working. Let's grab this. I'm going to create a new method in here called like private bool not or no, not bool, void spawn not enough gold. Okay, and then down here spawn not enough gold. Okay, and then when I'm in the drag and drop, attempt rune drop purchase, else spawn not enough gold, set affix at slot, null rune drag data. If source inventory grid is not equal to rune inventory grid, return true. So I need to know if what I basically... Here, I'm going to try something. Let me just do this first. Just buy a bunch of stuff. Try to get my money down so I can do this. Now if I do this, yeah, not enough gold. Perfect. But I should be able to do that one. Okay, so now I need to show a message that if you replace a rune, it's going to be added to your rune inventory. Cool. So now I got to figure out if I'm replacing a rune, do I add it to the rune inventory? Or if I'm replacing a rune, I need to tell the player that's being added to their inventory. But first I need to make sure that that's actually what's happening. So I'm going to go ahead and run the game. Actually, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and in here, entities, instantiate, upgrade table. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll find out. If you allow it, make sure the player knows where it goes. Yeah. Arrays have index of unless Godot's array is different than C# array. Yeah, C# array doesn't have an index of. It doesn't look like. You also work on problem creating skills. Yes, problem creating skills indeed. With the space below, would it be possible to show the rune inventory there? Maybe too busy, visually noisy though. The problem is that that's variable. The length of the... Oh, this is not working. The length of the assembled gun ingots is variable. So that's the problem. So they could potentially take up the rest of that bottom space. Because as this row grows here, it's just going to keep growing. And I don't think there's enough space there anyway, so... So, I mean, there's an easy way to test this. I can do this. If I do this, I should see this number go to 2 out of 2. Okay, it didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's see. Force set affix at slot. I see. So it does look like I need to add that to the inventory, because force set affix at slot skips adding it. So I need to handle that, or just disallow it. Maybe I'll just disallow it. So what I'll do is I'll say rune drag data dot, well, let's see, inventory slot. If inventory slot dot gun part affix is not equal to null, then we're just gonna we're gonna spawn some text here. Spawn warning text. What is the default duration on this? Okay. I'm gonna turn the duration up. Default this to not have enough gold. Text. Then up here, why am I getting lost? Here. Spawn warning text. Rune slot occupied. And then return false. Okay, I'm just gonna disallow that for now. It's a little bit too complex to like try to figure out how to swap the inventory there. So I'm just going to, whoops. Just going to disallow it and just print a warning. Because you can buy the runes by just right clicking, and that adds it to your rune inventory, and then you can go to the upgrade table and slot it in. So I do that. Rune slot occupied. Cool. Now the question is, will it also return my runes if I lose rune slots? I think it will, because that's automatically handled, but it's going to be good to check. So if I do I have another barrel? Yeah, so if I do a barrel like that, I add that bleed there. And if I replace this barrel, I should see this number go up to 1. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so that added that rune to my rune inventory. The important thing is I got to make sure the player isn't losing their runes. So as the rune slots change, it needs to be returning the runes to the player. And so far, so good. Rune slot occupied, so I can just purchase this then. Nice, okay. And here, not enough gold. Not enough gold. That's a little bit too much of a duration. But I also want to have the not enough gold if I right click on that. So let's try this. Let's turn this down to 2. I should probably just bake this into the try purchase item, but I'm just going to do this. Spawn warning text there. All right, I think this is basically going to wrap up the shop here. Do you have a replace function? I can't read your script. I think that's cleaner either way. Yeah, I think I do. Maybe I have a replace function. I'm not sure. I'd have to look at it. All I know is that supporting that case right now is going to take a little bit of effort, so I'm just going to not do that. Rune slot occupied. Rune slot occupied. Okay, so let's put that there. So now if I do this, not enough gold, it's kind of going off the screen, but that's all right. I'll have to fix that later too. Figure out a way to keep the text confined to the screen. I should be able to do that relatively easy, but that's fun. Okay, anyway. I'm pretty sure that shop is working the way that it should be. I'm going to do one more test in-game just to make sure everything's sensibly working. Effort equals ain't nobody got time for that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay, so there's the shop, and I've got all this stuff. Not enough gold, not enough gold, not enough gold, not enough gold. Okay, add gold 50. I can purchase that. That goes into my rune inventory, which I can't access, but that's fine. Purchase that. This shop sucks. Okay, well, I think that's probably fine. And his inventory is updated now as it's being used up, so that's good. Okay, I think I'm gonna say that that's probably fine. Obviously, I'll fix any bugs if they come up, but... All right, let's go ahead. Oh, I've got some errors here. Oh, that's related to the, yeah, the gun part table. Can drop delegate, can accept drop. Ooh, there's a lot of changes in the shop here. So I have to make these same kind of changes to the gun part unlock screen, but I'm not going to do that. I think we've done enough UI for the stream. So the next thing that I want to do is let me commit this and then we'll figure it out. I think I have an idea of what I want to do though. Update shop to support drag and drop. Okay. So I think update shop. Okay, perfect. So that's done. That feels good to be done. But I'm going to add another thing. I'm going to try increasing the amount of gold that drops. I think that's going to be really fun. And then also increasing the prices of everything. So I think this is going to involve some playtesting, which is fine. We'll do some playtesting. We'll see how everything's feeling. I probably want to increase the number of enemies that are spawned early on in the dungeon as well. So yeah, I think, and that might be as simple as, I actually don't know where that is. Is it enemy count scaling curve? Yeah, so it starts at 2 and goes up. Enemy count scaling curve. So that's in the wave manager. Enemy count curve. So this samples the bake round to int progress percent. So it goes from 2 to 13. Maybe I'll just up this to 4. Just slide that up. Min value 4. Do that. This. So it kind of, the way that to read this is that about a quarter of the way through the total waves, well, it ramps up a little bit slowly, slows down about a quarter of the way through, then it starts ramping up halfway through and continues to ramp up, but then it eventually plateaus at this level here. So, but I'm going to start it at 4 now, so increase the number of simultaneous enemies to start by double, and then we'll see how that feels. I also want to change the amount of gold that drops, so I'm going to do that. So there's a lot of things to do, but let me pull up that script then. Not private, what am I doing? What is it called? Wave, I think Wave Rewards Manager. Gold. On gold button pressed? Whoa, this is ancient. I don't think that's used anywhere. Goodbye. So in here, drop gold. Well, no, not in here. This loot table where the gold is added here. I'm going to increase that substantially and see if that makes the game a little bit more interesting. And then, of course, all the prices throughout the game are going to have to go up in conjunction with that. But I think, you know, I was talking about this earlier. Increasing the amount of gold that drops in the level is going to be my attempt to make it so that staying at the edges of the arena and just doing a circle around it is actually not a winning strategy. Like, yes, you'll probably stay alive, but you're not going to progress as much as you'd like because you're not going to be collecting gold. So dropping more gold from enemies is going to incentivize the player to have to move into danger to pick up the gold because it's very short-lived. I think by default, the gold only stays on the ground for 5 seconds before disappearing. So you basically have 5 seconds to get to the spot where you killed an enemy if you want the gold. And if it's dropping in very high quantities and you're deciding not to pick it up, then you're going to be missing out on a ton, right? So it's going to create like hopefully a sense of FOMO, right? That you're not picking up the gold because you're engaged in this very safe strategy. And, you know, you can do that if you want, but you're not going to be playing the game optimally. So I think that's what I'm going to do. But before I do that, oh, hello, Jackie Daytona. But to get an index of an array, you would use array index of. Oh, I see. You have to do array.index of. Thank you. Yeah, links do not get accepted by YouTube. It'll just get automatically blocked. So apologies for that. But yeah, that's good to know. Array.index of. Gotcha, gotcha. I don't think that works anywhere. Breaks. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Jackie and Corzo. Very much appreciate you being here. All right, I'm going to take a quick break, get a refill of my drink, and then when I come back, we'll start working on this stuff here. And that's going to be really fun. So we'll do some play testing. We'll see how it works. I'm very excited with how Gunforge is shaping up. It's feeling really good, and I think these changes are going to make it feel even better. So anyway, while I'm on my quick break, if you are inclined, you can check out the links in the description below for all the ways you can support me. You can purchase my Udemy courses, you can wishlist Gunforged on Steam and play the demo. All that good stuff, again, is in the description below. Give me 2 minutes and I'll be right back, and then we'll continue on with some Gunforged playtesting. All right, let's get started again. The gameplay of the fellow throwing cards reminded me to Gunfire Reborn Owl DLC character. Oh yeah, that's a fun game. That is a very fun game. I don't think I've played the Owl character though. All right, let's start by increasing the gold drop rate. We'll increase its weight from 4 to 20. So we're doing a 5 times increase, which may end up being too much. But what I find is that when you're doing balance changes, sometimes it's good to go too far in the direction that you want to go. So go farther, in other words, when you're doing balancing, sometimes making incremental improvements is not a great way to test things. Sometimes making one massive swing in one direction, because that gives you a better sense of like what it's like to actually experience that higher drop rate, for instance. And then what I find is that if it's too much, which it most likely will be, it's easier to incrementally scale it down than to like incrementally scale it up. I don't know, there's something weird about how that works, at least for me. So I try to go a wild swing in one direction and then scale it back if necessary. And sometimes when you go a wild swing in one direction, you go, wait a minute, this is actually really fun. So I'm gonna keep like it wild like this and just balance the rest of the game around that, you know? So that's kind of how I approach the balancing a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see if it works. So we're increasing the gold. We've increased the number of enemies that are gonna spawn. So let's go ahead and try this out now. What do you think about Pygame? I think that it's, it's perfectly fine. I think probably Pygame is not as... My understanding is that Pygame is more of like a framework. It's an engine, I guess, technically, but it's more of a framework for building games. You still have to do a lot of stuff yourself. So it's probably good if you're interested in using Python. You could certainly try it out. I've used it before, like in college, some of our first assignments were to use Pygame. But I don't know, I prefer things like Godot because there's just so much out-of-the-box functionality. And Godot, by the nature of being more sophisticated, it's a lot more opinionated in terms of how you should design things and build your game. But that's fine because I want as much to be handled by the engine as possible for me. I don't want to spend all my time like writing boilerplate code just to get my game to work. And I think, I could be wrong, but that was my experience with Pygame. Is like it's very frameworky. It gives you some nice ways of rendering and building a game, but you still need to like find ways to do a bunch of stuff yourself. You can scale up forever, scaling down has a limit, therefore it's inevitable you get it that way. Yeah, that's a good point. Do you use Cursor or other Gen AI code apps to help with game code? If not, why? No, I don't. And the reason is because, well, that's not true. So I've used ChatGPT to write very specific pieces of code, specifically shader code. So if there's a shader that I want and I don't want to learn how to write it and I can't find anything online, then I'll ask ChatGPT or some other tool to write shader code for me. And it's generally pretty good at doing that. But in terms of like game logic code, I don't do that for a couple reasons. Number one is I know what I'm doing, so I don't need the assistance. And number two is that if I let the AI write the code and I test it and it works, I'm not going to understand without studying it, like how it approached writing the code. And that's actually detrimental to me in the long run, is that I'm not going to know how a huge chunk of my game works if a lot of it's being written by an AI, even if it does work. But if there's a bug somewhere and I've used the AI to generate a significant portion of the code, it's as if I'm reading somebody else's code. It's as if I'm reading code that somebody else wrote. Whereas if I'm writing code in the way that I would write it, then I kind of already know, even if for a system that I haven't touched in a while, I already know generally how I would have approached the problem and how I would write the code. And my code is more immediately understandable to me, obviously. So those are the reasons why I don't use the code generation. AI is only good at coding a specific thing, for example, shaders. Yeah, I think that's right. I think you can use it effectively if you're writing it. I'm not discouraging anyone from using it, but I'm just uneasy about using it myself for the reasons I mentioned. Okay, that's feeling pretty good. Let's do bloated. Let's put that over there. I reduced the range of a lot of the weapons, but that appears not to have made that big of a difference. I very rarely want a weapon to shoot off screen, because that's also going to reduce the effectiveness of just doing this. So I'm trying to reduce the ranges of... Now, it could be that I just got really lucky with that roll there, but... Fire rate increases as magazine depletes, bullets ricochet one time. Cool. All right, let's try it out. Hello, Retro Rin. Hello, Rin. Welcome back to the stream. How you doing? I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. We're just doing some Gunforge balance testing here. Trying out gold and gold drops and whatnot. Increase the drop rate of gold, so it's a little bit more interesting to collect it. It's feeling much better with the enemies ramping up a little bit quicker in the beginning too. Feels a lot more engaging. I use it to find why I'm getting certain errors when I'm adapting and learning. Yeah, that's a good use of it too. And some calculus, yeah. Those are good applications. Imaginary friend, let's go. Fire rate goes down. That should probably be fine though. And I got shock now. Nice, okay, that works. Another bubble magazine. I guess I'll do another bubble magazine, why not? Put the bullet split there. Yes. Okay. How does one develop a programming mindset? I struggle a lot with it. Like when solving problems, mind goes a bit blank, hard to solve basic stuff. I don't know. That's a good question. I think the only thing I can think of is just try solving problems regularly, just practice it. There are websites online, I'm struggling to remember the name of it, but there are websites online that offer programming puzzles, and they can vary from very easy to very difficult. And so you could seek out one of those websites and just start doing challenges and start at the easier levels and, you know, submit your solution. And the nice thing about these online things is that you can submit your solution and it will instantly tell you whether your solution is correct or not. But then there are some of these sites where you can see the community solutions as well. So you come up with your own solution, you submit it, you see, yep, it's correct, and here's all the other solutions that people have come up with. And that's a great way to learn too, because you could say, oh, I didn't know I could use this feature to solve it this way, or I didn't know, well, that's a really clever, you know, way of solving the issue. And you can study those and really understand that. So I think it's just a matter of practice. You just need to get exposed to a lot of different ways of solving problems, and I think that problem solving will come more naturally to you. I've used it as a rubber duck because it'll hallucinate things that do not exist. Yeah, that's another big problem with AI too. I started programming later in life. I'm almost 2 years ago now, and I use Cursor IDE and AI in general to help me get projects done that would otherwise be out of scope for me. Yeah, I mean, if it works for you, then that's I have nothing against that. Welcome to the stream, by the way, Retro Rad Maker. Glad to be home and getting used to that again. Awesome. Awesome. It's still very early in the morning for you, though, isn't it? Retro Rin? I want to ask a question because I had an argument about earlier with a friend. How early do you think self-taught indie dev to learn? How early do you think should a self-taught indie dev learn about DSA? What is DSA? Is this an obvious acronym that I should know? DSA. I'm sorry, I'm blanking. I don't know what that acronym means. If you want to give me a hint there. Give one advice for learning GDScript. Try to accomplish anything in GDScript. It's a little bit, that advice is a little bit, I don't know. It sounds like the problem with a lot of this advice is like it just boils down to do it. And I can't really think of a nicer way to say it. My advice for learning GDScript is find something that you want to make in Godot that you think you can accomplish, and then try to do it. And use resources as necessary. Ask ChatGPT, but you have to get in and you have to start attempting to write code, and you're gonna fail, and you're gonna fail a lot. But that's part of the process. Like, you have to know how to not write the code, how to read the documentation. So the only way to learn is by doing, really. So I would just get in there and attempt to do something, and then just work through the errors that come up and work through the challenges that come up. Hacker rank, yes, hacker rank is a good one. Hello, Adaton, good to see you. Welcome to the stream, brother. I've arguments for and against things like leet code. Basically, don't get stuck in tutorial purgatory. Yes, I mean, that's an important, it's all a balance, right? Like, you can get really good at solving very niche puzzles, but can you build a game, right? Or can you build a software application? Those are not necessarily overlapping skill sets, right? Hello, Manacht. The game's looking good. I like how smooth the animations are. Very cool. Thank you. Appreciate that. It's 2:30 a.m. for you. You're still on hospital time. You're used to getting woken up. Well, welcome to the stream. Glad to keep you entertained while you're up at night. Data structures and algorithms. Oh, okay. So how early do you think should self-taught indie dev learn about data structures and algorithms? So I would say algorithms are probably less important, but data structures are very important. So I think data structures are one of the first things that you should learn. Like, as soon as you get a handle of variables and functions, you should go right into learning about data structures, because data structures are going to be the bread and butter for a lot of the things that you're going to need to do in game dev. Like, you need to know what arrays are, you need to know what dictionaries are. And funnily enough, that's basically the only data structures that exist in Godot. I mean, there are, like pool, vector, 3, array, but those are very specific. So you need to learn dictionaries and arrays at the very least, because that's going to help a lot. And then the algorithms is like, it depends. I think you can learn algorithms on an as needed basis. Like, you don't need to know like Dijkstra's pathfinding algorithm, especially if the engine provides pathfinding for you. As long as you know how to interact with the engine API, then you don't need to worry about how the algorithm works under the hood necessarily. Signals. Yes. Is your Survivor 2D course updated and works with latest Godot edition? It's not updated. It was built for Godot 4.0. However, it still does work. So you're going to find not too many differences between the modern version of Godot, like the 4.3, and the version that I use in the course. That said, if you want to be like one-to-one accurate, you can always download the older versions of Godot, go to Godot 4.0, and use that to follow along with the course, and then you can upgrade on your own and try to translate some of the differences over. The main differences are really the tile map stuff. The tile map stuff has changed between Godot 4.0 and 4.3, so that's the biggest difference in the course. You are welcome. Okay, I think I'm ready to go again. So again, we're testing increased gold drop rate, and also the increased ramping up the enemy density a little bit faster in the early game, which is feeling really good actually. I like this change. It ramps up quicker, but not overwhelmingly so. Look at this ricochet I've got going on. It's just bullets flying everywhere. Bubbles. Combustion, blazing trails, bloated. I don't have any poison anymore, so I'm not going to take that. Let's take blazing trails, and then speed, number of bullets. Give me an extra rune slot though. Oh, but that's even better. Let's put that there. 10% chance to fire the other gun while shooting. Am I gonna lose? Yeah, I lost all my poison now. That's fine. So it looks like I'm doing a shock build now. I'm just trying to see if this rune actually works. Oh, I gotta add tooltips to this too. Oh, did I not add... Do I have another rune here? Oh, I don't. Okay. Okay, it's working. Cool. Do I want to scramble anything? Honestly, I think I might scramble this gun. I'm not entirely in love with this gun, so let's go ahead and do it. Okay. I need to add tooltips to that part. Fire rate increases as magazine depletes. Fire stack and shock stack. Okay. Ooh, dragon bullets. Let's go. Okay. I've had some troubles with the tile map part with your Udemy class and Godot 4.4. Yeah. Yeah, the tile maps, I mean, you can still use the deprecated tile map in Godot. Unless they removed it outright from Godot 4.4, but... I think I need to update the fire effects. They're a little bit too noisy. I like this dragon gun, though. Or the dragon bullets, at least. Blazing Trails 2... Create an explosion when the magazine becomes empty or zap. I'm gonna lean into the lightning, I think. Ooh, there's oil. Can I put it on? No, I don't think so. Do I want to scramble my gun again? I don't want to, no. Okay. All right, then. I guess I'll just hold on to that oil rune. I might even bump the gold drop rate up even more. Well, I should wait till I get into the later, because there's a lot of gold on the ground right now. I do need to make the gold a little bit more visible. If anyone has any ideas on how I can do that to make the gold more apparent. I got a couple of points of feedback from people that they couldn't really see the gold, so... There was this change with the physics part of the tile map, but I don't know how to change the mask and layers of tiles, though. Oh, yeah. I think you need to add a physics layer to the tile set. A couple of physics layers to the tile set itself. So you open up the tile set resource, and then you go into the inspector, and you can add a couple of physics layers, and then those are where you can set your masks and layers. And then when you're in your tile set on the bottom panel, that's where you can paint the physics layer onto the tile. So you've got like the tile set, which contains all of the configurations of stuff that you can paint onto tiles. But then in the tile set panel, that's where you need to go in and like paint the data onto the tile. It's really confusing, but... Is the gun's fire effect just an animation or a bunch of particles? It's a bunch of particles. Yeah, it's just particles. I've also added like an additive light 2D, so it's basically just like a semi-translucent circle, a white circle over top of it that is set to blend mode add, so it looks like a light, but it's not rendering like a light. And that's how I added a little bit of glow to it. Cat needed to be buried, sorry. Aura or sparkles around the coins, that could work. Might ask you that in the message of the course, maybe. Yeah, you could do that. Some white border on the coins. Yeah, maybe some particles of some kind. I have particles on like the rune and stuff, so maybe particles would work. I think that, yeah, maybe we'll try that before the stream is over. Rubberized. Ooh, I'm gonna take this because if I can get my oil... Ooh, what is this? Dragon receiver. Oh wait, I have slots open over here. I don't need this. Let's put that on there. Let's get rid of the bullet split. No, actually, we'll keep that. Because I've got fire here. And then here, this is a big DPS and fire rate increase, so I'll put that on. That is... Ooh, that's a big spread. But I get a rune slot. I don't think I'm going to do that, actually. Okay. I'm curious, what are the lessons you would teach your past self with the knowledge you have today about game dev as an indie? Let's see. I mean, thing is, I haven't really, I haven't sold a commercially successful game yet, so I might be in that version of my past self right now, because I'm still trying to figure it out. But in terms of like making games from a technical standpoint, let's see. What are the lessons you would teach your past self with the knowledge? I think the big one would be, for the longest time, I didn't put any effort into like learning the art side of things because I just assumed that I wasn't going to be able to be that good at it. But when I started sitting down and actually practicing pixel art, I found that I could actually make good progress and produce some decent stuff. So I would probably encourage myself to do that earlier. And then also, yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't really have much to say. I mean, I think a lot of the mistakes that I made were just mistakes that had to happen in order for me to learn what I needed to learn. So, and there's a part of me that's like, if I'd gone back and told myself those things, I wouldn't listen anyway, so yeah. Good question, though. Let's see. Stack of oil. Do I want to do that? Oh, no, combustion, yes. Oh, but now I have 2 health, okay. Okay. Great answer, thanks. You were right about not listening, yeah. Are these bouncing? I can't really tell. I'm killing things too fast. I think they are bouncing. I can't tell. Wait, which one's applying oil? This one's applying oil. I'm killing things too fast. Yeah, it's definitely working, so. Oops, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I do enjoy the ramp up a lot more. It might be too much. Well, maybe it's not too much. Ooh, there's health. There we go. I'm liking this fire build. I would need more fire passives now. Berserk, Zap. Let's take Zap again. Ooh, Totem. Totems are fun. Bullet splits when colliding with enemy. I'm gonna reroll, actually. That's a big DPS increase. Wow. It doesn't give me a rune, though. That's better. Yeah, look at that. Okay. Well, I'll keep the totem. So I'll just allow that to be auto-sold. Nice. Dude, the fire weapon is so cool. It's also got a very, very big hitbox, which is kind of unique. There's not many bullets. Like, most of the bullets have really small hitboxes, but this one is like almost the width of a tile. So it's very easy to hit things. I need that gold. Yeah, maybe I'll make the gold not affected by light, and then also that will brighten it up substantially. And then also if I add some particles to the gold, I think that would help. Be the fuse, increase stamina. Let's do that one. This big upgrade. Ooh, which one do I put it in though? I'll do this one because I need the rune slot. I'm gonna need to tweak this DPS stuff. It seems to be growing relatively fast. It's kind of trivializing the game more often than not. So let's see. This is provided by the barrel. I don't need that anymore. Let's put the totem on there, and let's put another stack of fire. Put that over there. Okay. Oh my gosh. That's insane. Look at that. So because I have the rubberized passive, when I apply oil to the training dummy and I shoot, the fire's just bouncing off of things. Oh, does it also have ricochet? It also has ricochet from the bubble. Oh my gosh. Nice. That's cool. Cool. We're about to load up the map with fire. Oh my gosh. Oh, I'm dying. Yeah, I think I just need to get the damage under control. Cool. Mistakes you make learn better. Some stuff, yeah. It's better to commit mistakes. Yeah, I agree. Any tips on the game design of game dev? I don't have anything. I mean, I'm kind of hesitant to give tips on like game design and stuff because like I said, I'm still trying to make a commercially successful game. Gunforged is my first real attempt at doing that. So I'm going to refrain from giving any advice because I don't think I have the expertise that's required to do that. I can give you advice on technical aspects of it, but yeah, in terms of like the actual game design process, there are much better YouTubers to watch for that. Like Jonas Tyroller is a great YouTuber to watch for game design. Thomas Brush has a podcast where he hosts a lot of game devs. They give great tips on game design, so I would encourage you to look there. Are you happy with switching to indie dev instead of having a job financially and emotionally wise? Yes. Yeah, I love it. I love not having a job and being able to work on this for several hours per day. It's fun. Now, financially, I'm fine. Like, I mean, like my worst case scenario right now is like, it's fine. Like, my life is not gonna be upended if I run out of money. So yeah, it's going well. I think, yeah, part of that is I've built up a good like financial safety net, so I'm not dealing with like the stress that maybe somebody else would be dealing with. Like, it's not like I have all the cash that's in my savings account and that's it. And if I go to zero, then I'm gonna not know how to pay the mortgage. It's not like that at all. So I'm treating myself as if all I have is the money in my savings account. But if that number goes to zero, there's no risk of me losing my house or anything, and I'm going to be able to afford my food and all that stuff. So it's very low stress, and also I can just focus on working on this every day. Is there interaction between the bullets of different weapons that you're holding? Like if a bullet of a weapon meets another, something different happens? That would be dependent on the runes that you have in your gun. So for instance, like I've got oil on this gun and fire on this gun. And so I have a passive here called combustion that will create an explosion when fire is applied to an oiled enemy. So there is an interaction in that I want to shoot the enemy with oil and then hit him with the fire, and that creates an explosion that does extra damage. But there is no like natural interaction between different bullet types. It depends on what runes you have and what passives you have as well. That's looking insane. Yes, I love it. Pirate Software, if you want inspirational quotes. Yeah, Pirate Software, I've heard that that content is good as well. Hope the game becomes a hit. Thank you, very much appreciate that. Okay, so increase health, that's a good one. All right, ooh, big. Ooh, that's a big upgrade. 2 more rune slots. We'll put magma there. Do I want to reroll? No, I'm feeling good about my damage here. Oh, Rat King. Yeah, my DPS is just absolutely wild right now. I'm just gonna melt this Rat King. Ow. Oh, maybe not. I was a little bit too confident, I guess. Now I gotta sit back. This is why I wanted to reduce the range of the weapons, is that you could just sit back and do this. Which is fine in some cases. Like, I'm not opposed to being able to construct a weapon that does that. I just don't want it to be super common. Like, there has to be a certain level of room for cheese in roguelike games, but if every run is just a matter of cheese, then it's like, that's too much. In my opinion, anyway. Enemies that die. Let's do combustion upgrade. That sounds good. Ooh, that's a minor DPS decrease, but I get more rune slots, so I'm gonna do that. And I've got, yeah, look at that. Okay. Now what's interesting here is I can put this magma on this gun, since this gun is applying fire. And actually, I might make both guns apply fire. Yeah, make both guns apply fire, because now this gun can trigger that combustion by itself, and this should be able to trigger the magma as well by itself. I'm gonna test it really quick. I'm glad I have this training dummy here. Yeah, there was a magma. I don't know if you can see it. I think I need to make the magma more apparent. But yeah, there you go. You see the big explosion there. Anyway, this DPS is absolutely nuts. I think I just need to reduce the base damage of all the guns and reduce perhaps like how far the random range can be in terms of the damage. I need to pick up this gold. There's another health globe. Oof. Still got a bunch of effects spawning in the top left corner, which is annoying me. I don't know why that's happening. Yeah, I'm liking the increased gold drop rate for sure, though. Okay, heart sacrifice. Blazing Trails, Taggart, Berserk. I don't want to do any of those, so I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, and I got most of the same choices here anyway. Let's do... Do I still have Shock? I don't. Okay, so I'm going to do Taggart here. Might as well throw another fire stack on there. I don't have any good gun parts. Let's just reroll once. Not a bad reroll. Oh, but I lose the ricochet. That's fine. I don't think I need the ricochet. I think I'll just take the raw DPS. Okay. Everyone got the preferences? Yeah. Defeating the boss kind of feel underwhelming. Yeah, I gotta change that as well. I gotta make the boss explode into gold and whatnot. Can you show the tooltip over the flashing icon? This here. Is this what you're looking at? Or wanting to see, I mean? Okay, let's continue on. Oh, ow. Ooh, look at all the gold. Yeah, it's much more fun to have gold to collect. Ow. And I actually have to put myself in danger more often. Yeah, I like that. I like that. The gold kind of becomes now a measure of your bravery of going into the middle of enemies to pick it up. But then it puts you, because it's putting you in a more dangerous situation, the game actually becomes a little bit more difficult. And it's entirely optional, right? Like, you don't have to grab gold if you don't want to. Grease ball. Increase. I'm gonna have to take... Ooh, beefy though. Yeah, let's do beefy. If I can get berserk after beefy, that's gonna be great. Do I want to put this on? Yes. Drag that over. Now, the one thing that I can do as well is there's a set bonus now for getting a thematically coherent gun, which will double the amount of rune slots you have, which I think is cool. Ooh, get destroyed. Just immediately blown up. Yeah, I gotta change the fire effect, because the fire leaves burning ground after enemies die, which is good, but it's a little bit too much, I think. Ow. If I can get berserk though. Oh. Okay, I'm not doing so hot, actually. Increase stamina, combustion. I don't... We'll take combustion, I guess. Ooh, got a lot of runes here. Okay. What do we got going on? Let's throw a bleed on there. That's a good one to have. Bullet pierce is a good one. Let's see. Bullet split. Oil. I need to keep the oil. Magma. I'm going to put bullet pierce on this instead. Shock, oil. Yeah, I don't need any of these. I'll keep the shock just in case. And I'll keep the magma just in case. Okay. So now I've got piercing flaming bullets. Which means that it's like a penetrating flamethrower. Yes. I haven't gotten a health globe in a while. Woo! Okay. That was very... Ooh, Berserk, here we go. 100... Oh, I already had Berserk. Okay, so 150% damage per missing health. Perfect. Let's give that a reroll. Actually, I like this. I might not even change the... cost of this, because I feel like being able to reroll quite a bit is actually great. Ooh, here we go. Here we go. Put that on there. Now all I need is the receiver, and then I can get... Oh, do I want to spend... Okay, one more. No, one more. Okay, I gotta stop gambling. I have a gambling problem in Path of Exile too. I just blow tens of thousands of gold on gambling. Sorry, I should catch up with the chat here real quick. That rune overview is great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not convinced that it's the best way to present that information, but I think that I do need a way to show the player, like, answer the question, like, do all these runes combine together or are they separate? You know, like the question, does poison stack? If I put 3 poison runes, do I get 3 times the effect or do I get just 1? And so that rune overview is designed to answer that question by saying it adds 3 poison stacks, right? Can you share your background in software engineering and job? How did you come to this field and what cool stuff you worked on? Sorry, joined today, so got less context. will be joining daily. It's fun. Well, thank you, Featrix. I very much appreciate that. It's good to have you here. So how did I get background software engineering? I mean, I actually started with game development. I was like 14 years old and I was interested in building games, so I just naturally sort of gravitated toward ways of doing that. And in those days, Game Maker was quite popular. As some of you might remember, the Game Maker like 7 or 8, something like that. So I started doing some scripting in that, and that's how I got introduced to programming. And then I started making websites because I thought, wow, it's really cool that you can just make your own website and host it somewhere. So I started learning how to make websites. And then in high school, I was doing, I was actually maintaining the school's website as part of like a club. And then, yeah, I just kind of stuck with it. I just kept making little projects on my own. And then I had some summer internship opportunities at software companies after high school. So I did that all during college. And then I also went to college for game design, or not game design, but for game simulation programming. And then I just kind of got my first full-time job through the previous summer internship opportunities that I had. And that's basically how I got into it. So what cool stuff did I work on? I've done a lot. I worked on stuff for the Canadian government at one point. I worked on some client projects, one of which was like a service to connect employees of companies with mental health providers. That was an interesting one. Mostly just working in like SaaS app stuff. In my last job, I was working at a startup. I was one of 3 engineers, and we did a lot of AI exploration in like e-commerce, but that ultimately didn't pan out. So the reason that I'm doing what I'm doing today, the reason I'm doing full-time indie dev now is because the company that I was at previously actually ran out of funding because we were a startup and we weren't making any money. And so I decided to take this opportunity to say, well, I might as well give this a shot now, and we'll see how it goes. If I end up not making it or not being able to sustain myself doing this, then I'll just go back into the software world. And it's kind of good timing anyway, because it seems from what I can gather that the general software job market is kind of in a downturn, so it's hard to get a job right now, even for somebody with my experience. So it's a nice time to take a break and just pursue my own interests, and you know, it's fun. I like it. Do you have to find the pieces of the weapon visually, or do they have a tooltip of what set they are from? Oh, no, they have a tooltip. So it will say, like, you hover over it and it says bone barrel or bone receiver or bone magazine or dragon barrel. So it tells you what kind of part it is, but you can also tell pretty easily, I think. Do I have a health sap effect? No, I don't, but I'd like to introduce something like that. I just need to figure out a way to make it work with the health system I have, because it's not like I have the player has 300 health, right? And I can just say, oh, well, every time you hit an enemy, you gain 0.1 health, or, you know, you gain 10% of the damage you deal as lifesteal. I can't do that because I have just like whole integer health amounts. So player has 3 health or player has 5 health, and every time you take a hit, you get 1 damage. So some kind of health leech would have to be like something more akin to you get a guaranteed health globe drop, you know, every 100 kills or something like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not sure exactly. You could leave the reroll price low and make it less probable to get a good item. Yeah, I think that's an option. Give the perception of the player that they can get something good, but spend the coin. Yeah, I think the reroll, all it does is it just takes the same logic. So whatever logic is run at the end of the wave to give you your initial set of parts, it just reruns that logic. So it's just, you get an equal chance every time of getting something good. I'm almost dead. I need to resolve this situation. I'm also very slow because I took Beefy. Oof, I almost died right there. I'm also not picking up any of the gold I'm getting. How did you end up with Gunforged idea? Also, what are your favorite games that you can play for hours? So the Gunforged idea, it came out of like Noita originally. I thought it would be fun to take the wand crafting mechanic and give it a slightly different theme and make it a gun crafting mechanic. But Gunforged was originally going to be like an Enter the Gungeon clone. So it was going to be like a mix of Enter the Gungeon and Noita in terms of like, you know, Enter the Gungeon has like lots of different guns, but they're all thematically coherent, right? But I thought, well, what if I took the wand crafting mechanism from Noita and put it into an Enter the Gungeon formula? And that's kind of how Gunforged came about. But for various reasons, I ultimately moved Gunforged in the more the direction of like Bro-tato, where you just fight in an arena, you just kill a bunch of enemies, and collect passives and stats and stuff. Because, yeah, making an Enter the Gungeon clone is very difficult, actually. So, that's kind of how the idea has evolved. Give me... I really want... No, I wasted all my money. Okay, well, it's fine. I want a dragon receiver so I can have the set bonus. I don't understand Noita. Yeah, I don't think I've gotten like... The farthest I've gotten in Noita is like not very far. Because it's so difficult. It's such a difficult game. Sometimes I'd have a good run and then I'd be like, ooh, this wand looks cool. And then I shoot it and the wand bounces off the wall and kills me. And I'm like, oh, well, run over, I guess. Noita's very, very difficult, but I really liked the wand crafting mechanic. I am... Now that there's more gold dropping, I can probably include a passive that's like increase the pickup area or something. Nice. Give me a dragon receiver, please. Ooh, Secret Service. Yes, I need that. Give me a dragon receiver, please. Let's put another totem on here. Does that combine? 10% chance to summon a totem. Does it have a cooldown? I'm trying to see if the totem has a cooldown. It doesn't say it has a cooldown, so I'm going to assume it doesn't. I'm just not able to get two totems summoned at once. Interesting. Gosh, this beefy passive is really slowing me down. Ooh, there's a health globe, though. I'm not gonna actually... I'm gonna try not to get myself to full health because I'm still making use of the Berserk passive. So I'm actually not gonna collect that health globe there. I am gonna go get that one, though. These dragon bullets are ridiculous. Give me the gold. Nice. Almost there. Quick progression, quick deaths, quick restarts, replayability at its finest. Yeah, that's one way to put it. I do want to learn to do procedural rooms. Yeah, I explored a bunch of different ways. It's really hard to get a procedural generation algorithm working in a way that feels good. It's just really difficult. That's a big damage increase, but give me a dragon receiver. This game sucks. Well, I'm getting to the end of the run now, so it's not going to help me much if I don't get a dragon receiver. Or if I do get a dragon receiver, I mean. Ooh, look at all this gold. Yes. Oh, I didn't mean to pick up that health. Yeah, I think I just need to reduce the noise of that fire ground stuff. It's not even clear entirely what's happening there, so maybe I'll think of a different way to get the fire working. Oof. I was trying to... The reason why the fire creates like a section of burning ground is I was trying to differentiate it from the poison because they're both damage over time. So I was like, well, the fire maybe can just leave burning ground instead, but... I really want to get the dragon receiver. Ooh, got another secret service though. Let's go. All right, wave 19, and then we'll be fighting the lowrider spider. Okay, just mowing through enemies. How about a passive that is the opposite of Berserk that benefits you as long as you're at full health? That's a good idea. I think I have something like that written down, but yeah, I can definitely do something like that. It's looking much better. Fun factor up. Yeah, I think so. I'm happy with the amount of gold that's dropping. Yeah, I got you, Defective, yeah. This dumb developer. I'm finding it hard to see gold in the ground. Agree on buffing the fire particles. Yeah, so I think for the gold, what I want to do, and maybe I'll try this before I end the stream. I've already gone a half hour later than I usually do, but I'm having fun with this. So no more rune unlock message. No, that still exists. It's just I think on this save file, I've unlocked all the runes, so that no longer shows up. It only shows up the first time you unlock it. Okay, Berserk. Let's do Berserk times 3. Oh, there it is. Look at that. I got it. Okay, check this out. So I've got 4 rune slots, right? Boom. Oh, wait. Oh, no. Okay, so now I can put more stuff on this. Let's put Bullet Ricochet and let's put Bleed again. So now, so see how this rune inventory can extend quite a bit? So what is this? I've got 3 fire stacks, 10% chance to summon a totem, bullet pierce through 1 enemy, it applies 2 stacks of bleed, and bullets ricochet. And that's all because I've constructed a thematically coherent gun and I can put a bunch of stuff. Why is the ricochet not working though? Uh-oh. The bullet ricochet is not working. It was working before, wasn't it? Okay, so the bullet ricochet works there. But it doesn't work if I put this on. Huh, that's interesting. Why is that not working? Hold on. Let me debug this real quick. I can attach this to the process. Totem, bullet pierce, totem. Oh, it's not. Something's wrong here. Total affix slots 3. Something's wrong. I don't know why does this keep... Okay, total affix slot 6, okay. Affixes, it's only got 3. Why does it only have 3 affixes? Is this not working? Fire... Yeah, something's wrong here. So it says total affix slot 6. Oh, I guess this isn't working. The stat bonus. So there's something wrong with how the affixes are being redistributed. So it's kind of a weird system. All the gun parts are made up of gun part resources, and the gun part resources are the things that keep track of the affixes that are attached to the resource. The problem is, I think in my redistribute affixes here, the individual parts are not having their affix slots updated. And so the problem is that it's not treating each part as if there's double affix slots. So that's unfortunate. All right, I'm gonna need to make a note of this. So the set bonus actually doesn't work. Well, I'm glad I tested that. So yeah, the problem is that the affix slots are being changed at this level here, at the level of the gun stats, but not at the level of the individual gun resource parts. Now, I'm not entirely sure why I even need to do this redistribution of affixes. It's probably because when I do gun stats from part resources, it assembles all of them together. Oh, this is going to be a tricky problem. What might be the appropriate thing to do is to just entirely remove an affix concept from a gun part resource. Keep the innate affix concept, but then move the affix tracking to the gun model manager here instead. Yeah, I'm probably going to need to do some larger refactoring here because I don't see a good way of handling that situation. Anyway, let's go ahead and finish the run, but that's going to need to be fixed. So let's disconnect. Hello, And Wu. Welcome back to the stream. Good to see you. Ah, indeed. Yes, that's why you playtest. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, well, I'll be fixing that this afternoon, I'm sure. But I think, I mean, it's just going to require some refactoring, but I think it can be fixed. I'm just glad it's not a problem with my ricochet not working because I do not want to continue to edit the bullet code. Oof. This guy's tanky. I'd be doing more damage if my set bonus was actually working. Oh, also I should, yeah, oh, I took a bunch of damage and now I'm doing damage, okay. Because my berserk passive. Get the gold. I'm gonna change that victory as well, that victory screen. I spent a lot of money, so I didn't end up with that much gold, but... So yeah, you can see that it says what type of part it is. So we got cow, bubble, bone, sniper, shotgun, oil. I should reverse the order of this so it goes receiver, magazine, then barrel. That makes more sense, doesn't it? Anyway. So I'm pretty happy with those changes. I'm going to need to refactor that affixes stuff. That's all right. Okay. So balance tweaks. Okay, cool. All right, that's going to be it for the stream today. Thank you so much for watching. Very much appreciate that. I'm going to call this, well, I'm not going to call that done because I want to make some changes to the visuals of the gold, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Thank you all for joining. Yeah, again, if you're interested in supporting me, you can check out the links in the description below. I've got my Udemy courses available for sale, and this game, Gunforged, is available for wishlist on Steam, and you can play the demo as well on Steam. So please do that if you are inclined to do so. Otherwise, like the video, subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos, and by the way, I've got a new deep dive video coming out at 1 p.m., well, in a half hour. So in a half hour, there'll be a new video out on my channel. It's part 2 of creating the snake boss. So if you liked the first deep dive video, you'll probably like this one as well. And yeah, thanks again for joining. Thank you all for your support, and I will see you in the next stream. All right, bye-bye.